people. I'm Anne Asis-Carilo. Thank God it's almost Friday. Let's make this day a good one with some laughter, inspiration, and unstoppable energy.
And I'm Monique Tuzon. Your mornings are always more fun with us. Join us in the next hour and a half for stories and conversations that matter. So, Anne, welcome back.
Thank
now
you.
We're missing another person.
I know. Where is Paolo del Rosario?
But he's on his way.
Yeah.
We'll see where
He got stuck in traffic.
When he'll be here.
Yes, yes.
But welcome back. I hope you're feeling better.
Thank you. Yes, yes. You know what? It's crazy because yesterday when I messaged you guys at 3:30 a.m., I haven't had any sleep yet because I ate something bad and my body reacted. And now I lost maybe like 10 pounds or so because of everything that I flushed out. So I need to eat. Send us food, please.
Are you hungry from all the food you threw out?
Yeah. But you know what? I'm excited because last week we talked to a lawyer who's fighting for animal rights and animal welfare, right? And today we are talking to a chef that makes fresh, nutritious food for pets.
Yes, I know.
Woo!
I saw some of the foods and they're so cute. Honestly, at first, I didn't know they were for pets. I thought they were for humans. I was about to eat
They were
some
that
of
good
them.
looking.
I mean, we can eat them.
Yeah, we can actually.
Yeah.
I remember my friend who's a vet. He actually tastes the kibble.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he knows like this brand tastes like this, and then this brand tastes like this.
Very
So
interesting.
it's actually
Maybe
safe.
one of these days we'll have Anne try the kibbles
No.
out for all your 10 cats. Let us know how they all taste.
Like
if there's
dairy,
really like salmon,
like a dare.
beef.
I know,
yeah.
like I buy all these cans of cat food, different flavors, and I never really try it, but maybe I should.
They
like
smell
one of these.
funky. That's all I
They
know.
do. I know. Oh my goodness. But anyway, we got a lot in store for you guys today. And Coach V is also joining us later on.
Yes,
Right?
but you know what? I'm really glad because yesterday I had to do traffic, and good thing it wasn't traffic because it was a holiday, so there was not much to be said. So welcome back. Take the traffic away.
Yeah,
Anne.
so let's go check out if traffic is back with a vengeance today after that holiday break yesterday. Here is the situation along EDSA Quezon Avenue flyover. On the left side of your screens are vehicles going to Quiapo. We're seeing light to moderate traffic on that stretch. Opposite lane are vehicles headed to the Quezon Memorial Circle. No problem, everything free flowing this morning. Now let's take a look at EDSA White Plains this time. On the left side of your screens, the southbound lane going to Shaw Boulevard, moderate traffic already on that lane. Opposite side, northbound lane going to Cubao, light to moderate traffic as well. Now guys, the expanded vehicle number coding is back in full swing. Since it's a Thursday, vehicles with license plates ending in 7 and 8 should be off the road right now until 10 a.m. and again later from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. Now, Vice President Sara Duterte may attend the Senate hearing today over the arrest of her father, former President Rodrigo Duterte. Several cabinet officials are expected to attend as the Senate looks into the arrest of FPRRD by the International Criminal Court. It has also been nearly a month since the former leader was arrested in March on charges of crimes against humanity. Meanwhile, the Armed Forces clarifies it did not remove VP Sara's security. The AFP explains the Vice President's detail was reorganized. This comes over reports saying that the Vice Presidential Security and Protection Group was deactivated by Armed Forces Chief of Staff Romeo Bronner Jr.
Hindi po nawala ng security detail ang ating Vice President and future Vice Presidents in this kind of reorganization. This ensures continuity and seamless operations of providing security and protection to our Vice President.
Former presidential spokesperson Harry Roque denies he was behind the Polvoron video that allegedly shows President Bongbong Marcos using drugs. This comes after vlogger Vicente Bencalo Canunan, or Pebbles, linked Roque to the spread of a video meant to depict Marcos using drugs and bring down his administration. In a hearing of the House Tri-Committee on Fake News, Pebbles told of a private dinner in Hong Kong where Roque supposedly said that he obtained a screenshot of the Polvoron video from a politician's relative. Pebbles also said in her sworn statement that Roque showed the video in a public at Vancouver rally. She added the raw version of the video was enhanced and tweaked.
Sana pinakita ni Talakera yung sinasabi niyang live video kung saan nagkaroon ng premiere ang pulveronic video sa Vancouver. Tanungin yung mga sarili ninyo, kung hindi si BBM yan, bakit hanggang ngayon ayaw niyang mag-hair follicle test?
Another candidate is in trouble for making a bad joke. The COMELEC issued a show-cause order against Congressman Ruel Gonzaga, who is running for governor of Davao del Oro. Gonzaga is facing a possible violation of the poll body's anti-discrimination against women and gender-based harassment guidelines.
Ang mga lalaki, maayo kayo na mukiyon. Kamu bang mga babae, maayo pa po ba mukiyon? O mas maayo pa mo sa mga lalaki?
Pero sultihan ta mo, sinenata mo sa 14 anyos na byuda, sigurado ko napilot na ng iya. Sukol magagagawin din eh. Ihatag na kakagawad ang gilyesa, pero gusto na ko slips. Sige na. 1, 2, 3.
Gonzaga still has about 2 days to respond to the show-cause order over his tasteless remarks.
Sabi nga po namin kung nag-focus na lang sana sa plataforma, nag-focus sa solusyon, nag-focus sa pakikinig at pagbibigay ng solusyon sa mga issue ng lipunan, di sana wala pong ganitong mga show-cause orders.
Pasig Councilor candidate attorney Anne Asis-Carilo claims his jokes about single moms while campaigning are protected by freedom of speech. Gabriela Women's Party filed a complaint against Asis-Carilo for his jokes, which he claims were not meant to discriminate or harass anyone and did not trample on the rights and freedoms of single parents. But the COMELEC says, quote, freedom of speech is not absolute.
Hindi naman po sila ordinary mamamayan lang. Sila po ay mga kandidato and therefore being a candidate is not an absolute right. It is a mere privilege. And therefore you are governed by election laws and the rules and regulation of the Commission on Election.
Solo parents looking to file a case against Pasig City Congressman candidate Anne Asis-Carilo, who recently drew flack for his single mom joke. For some single moms in Pasig City, what Asis-Carilo said is unacceptable for someone running for a government position. They said they will file an oral defamation complaint under the Safe Spaces Act. The Safe Spaces Act, or the Bawal Bastos law, prohibits gender-based harassments like catcalling and misogynistic remarks in public spaces, schools, workplaces, and online. Violators will face 12 hours of community service, up to 2 years, and 4 months of jail. They could also pay a fine of up to 500,000 pesos.
Who the hell are you to say that to a solo parent mom? In particular, those who are menstruating. What are you trying to prove to yourself? You're a macho guy?
Blogger Mocha Uson pulls the plug on her controversial campaign jingle in her bid as councilor in Manila. The COMELEC sent Uson a letter expressing concern over the candidate's sexually suggestive campaign materials. Uson could have faced a show-cause order and a possible disqualification under the poll body's updated anti-discrimination guidelines. Several lawmakers and progressive groups criticized Uson for apparently banking on her image instead of discussing her platform as a candidate.
Isang banda nakaka-offend sa sensibilities. Pangalawa at higit pa, tingin ko yung further na pinapakita nito na dinadumb down, no? Ginagawang tanga yung mga mamboboto na kapag kinuha yung interest via suggestive, sexually suggestive na content ay iboboto. Hindi plataforma yung pinag-uusapan, pero nagka-capitalize doon sa imahe ni Mocha.
The Philippine Navy's newest acquisition has arrived from South Korea. The BRP Miguel Malvar touched down in Subic, Zambales, which is one of the 2 guided missile corvette the armed forces bought from the Hyundai Heavy Industries. Defense Secretary Gubo Teodoro says this will help strengthen the country's maritime and defensive posture amid China's bullying in the West Philippines.
Now moving on to world news, in a stunning reversal, U.S. President Donald Trump temporarily lowers tariffs on countries except China, giving global trading partners room to negotiate lower trade barriers. This comes less than 24 hours after steep new tariffs kick in most countries, which shook the stock market. Trump also said he would suspend targeted tariffs on other countries for 90 days to give room for negotiation. This on-again, off-again approach baffles world leaders and business executives who say the uncertainty has taken a toll on market conditions. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu testifies in his long-standing corruption trial at the Tel Aviv District Court. This is his first public appearance shortly after his crucial meeting with U.S. President Trump to discuss political relations between the two countries amid the imposed tariffs. Netanyahu is on trial over a separate series of corruption charges, which he denies. He appears weekly in Tel Aviv court to testify in the 2019 indictment in 3 cases involving gifts from millionaire friends and allegedly seeking regulatory favors from media tycoons in return for favorable news coverage.
$100 million worth of the world's rarest diamonds are on display in Abu Dhabi. The 8 precious gems come in various colors and weigh a total of more than 700 carats. The show stealer, a 10-carat blue diamond from South Africa, which Sotheby's expects to sell for $20 million in an auction in May.
White diamonds are the principal ones people think about. But then as you have color in diamonds, they get increasingly rare. And at the top of the rarity pyramid, really, are blue diamonds. And then of all the blue diamonds, the top of those are fancy vivid blue diamonds. And then of all the vivid blue diamonds, ones over 10 carat are perhaps some of the rarest diamonds that have ever existed in the world.
Europe will finally get its own Universal Studios theme park. The attraction will be built in Bedford and will open in 2031. Comcast President Mike Kavanagh showed their plans to British Prime Minister Keir Starmer, saying he could not be more excited. The park is expected to attract 8.5 million visitors in the first year, a number currently only exceeded in Europe by Disneyland Paris. Universal Studios has 5 resorts and parks in California, Florida, Singapore, Japan, and China.
Now in sports, a throwback showdown between the San Miguel Beermen and the Meralco Bolts as the PBA celebrates its 50th anniversary. The Beermen and the Bolts rocked retro threads in their game Wednesday at the Rizal Memorial Coliseum. San Miguel ran away with the victory, 110-98. The Kraken, Junmar Fajardo, was named best player of the game with a double-double of 28 points and 10 rebounds. SMB has won back-to-back games in the Philippine Cup. In the first game, the Magnolia Chicken Templados Hotshots disconnect the Converge Fiber Xers 83-81. Best player of the game, Ian Sangalang, had an all-around effort with 18 points, 9 rebounds, and 4 assists. Dave Lucero likewise scored 18 as Magnolia improves 2-0. From the hardcourt to the Terraflex, bark and bite from the NU Lady Bulldogs as the champs bounce back from its second loss of the season in the UAAP. The Lady Bulldogs crushed the UE Lady Warriors Wednesday at the Phil Sports Arena in Pasig. Queen Bulldog Bella Belen led the champs with 16 points. NU improves to 10 wins and 2 losses, while victory remains elusive for UE after losing 10 in a row. In the first game, the FEU Lady Tamaraos edged out the Ateneo Blue Eagles in 4 sets. Faida Bacanque led the Lady Tams with 19 points, while player of the game, Sheni Tagawad, added 12, plus 13 excellent receptions. FEU is still in the race to the Final Four at 8-4, while Ateneo's semis hopes are dashed at 4-8.
Now we've got something for the super fans of LeBron James. The NBA's all-star leading scorer gets reimagined as a Barbie doll. King James becomes the first professional athlete to be immortalized as a doll by toy company Mattel. LBJ's Kenbassador doll marks a milestone in the toy's 65-year history. The bespoke figure captures LeBron's style and his height, as it is 1 inch taller than the standard Ken doll. The LeBron doll is reportedly priced at $75 or over 4,000 pesos. Only up to 5,000 copies of the doll will be sold between April 14 and 19.
That is the coolest thing ever.
I gotta get a hand on that doll. April
They're only making up
to
limited number of dolls. You know what? I'm curious. If it's a guy doll, like LeBron, a LeBron doll, is it a Barbie doll or a Ken doll?
It's a Ken. They're all technically Barbies, but the guy dolls are called Ken. So you'd still
maybe
call
he's
them
like
Kens.
Ken?
Well, that's why he's
So
a
it's a Ken?
Kenbassador.
Oh,
I know Paolo
okay.
definitely wants a LeBron James doll. Let's ask him later, because I feel like people are definitely gonna buy it and they're gonna resell it for even more expensive. Because I mean, 4,000 pesos right now, that's not bad for a LeBron James doll. But later on, I feel like that's gonna be thousands of dollars.
They're gonna resell
Yeah.
that for sure. And if they're making just a limited number of dolls, they're gonna, really grab those dolls.
But it looks
off the
legit, and
shelves.
it's so funny
I
that they added
know.
an inch to make him even taller.
And the shoes. Oh, I love it.
Well, one of these days, Barbie, Mattel, this is the first
Let's
time I'm going to be
manifest it.
asking. I'm pulling an Anne. Please give us a LeBron James doll, please.
So moving on, in entertainment, the bright contestants behind the popular South Korean cooking competition Culinary Class Wars are in town to give Filipinos a taste of their creations. The pop-up in Makati features 2 of the contestants, along with Chef Patrick Go of your local. The Netflix show pits the white spoon chefs, or those from the fine dining scene, and experienced culinarians against black spoon chefs or rising stars. And Chef Choi, the first North Korean chef, tells us more about his philosophy as a culinarian.
Food doesn't have ideology. We all have a taste. All of us, we follow the tasty food. So I have a faith and a belief that my family food has a strong story and the taste. So just want to introduce not only North Koreans but also all Koreans include the family recipe which is from North Korea. So I don't separate it. It's like united Korean cuisine. I don't want to separate it, because we are all same people.
She like to keep the old passion, and she tried not to change too much. She always maintain the quality and the story from the roots, and she always remember that.
Oh, I love this. I have to go while they're here. I'm not sure how long the pop-up is running, but I definitely have to go this weekend because I'm such a fan of Chef Patrick Go of your local. That's literally one of my favorite restaurants here. Have you been?
No, we were supposed to go, right?
I told you about
in
it.
Makati?
Yeah, in Makati.
Yeah.
It's really good.
We have to.
Yeah.
Let's schedule that date. But
We
it's
will.
making us hungry again, showing all this food.
Yeah, I mean, look at the japchae. It looks so amazing. I wish we can go. I wonder if we've covered it. So maybe.
You know, I love how
we can
this
go
month
over there and
is.
cover it.
This month is Filipino Food Month, right? April, and we're also having
Marie
different
covered it.
cuisines. Yeah, there you go.
Marie always
Different
gets the good
cuisines this
food.
month.
I'm
So
so
it's-
jealous, Marie girl. I've been telling you this since earlier. Send us food or take us with you. I know you're eating food enough for like 5 people, but you look incredible, and I'm just jealous of all your food.
I know. We should have food on the show, like really.
We have pet food. We have pet food later that Anne will try. I will take behind the scenes videos of that.
Let's see.
Well, speaking of one of my favorites, one of my favorite movies, kind of, it's not really a movie, but incredible results from a new 3D scan of the Titanic wreck show new details and tell new stories of the ship's final moments. In a new documentary from National Geographic, Titanic, The Digital Resurrection, tells the story of how deep sea mapping company Magellan created the most precise model of the Titanic yet, a 1-to-1 twin down to the rivets. National Geographic says the scan also reveals how parts of the wreck are collapsing. but the digital twin means that it's preserved in perfect detail as it appeared in 2022.
Now, a chef is on a mission to provide healthier food for our babies, our fur babies. Chef Giannina Gonzalez of Whole Pet Kitchen will join us live after the break. Don't go away. It's a beautiful day. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. You're still watching This Beautiful Day. I'm Paolo del Rosario, and we are proud to welcome our guest today because she wants to give our pets all a healthier lifestyle through natural and freshly prepared food. Joining us is Chef Giannina Gonzalez, the founder of Whole Pet Kitchen. It's a beautiful day, Chef. Thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, thank you so much for having me here.
I'm so proud that we have our Lasallian here in the venue, and not just a Lasallian, Com Arts graduate rin.
Yes, Com Arts.
But it's so amazing because I look at your background. You are a food stylist. You studied you study actual pastry making, and you went to the United States for it. And here you have a bakery. You create whole pet foods. Just tell us how it all started out for you.
Well, I think I've always been kind of an oddball since I was young. So, like as far as I can remember, I really, really enjoy being around animals, taking care of animals. Okay. So it's like I actually grew up in a household with 30 dogs.
30?
30
That's
cats,
amazing.
pigeons. It was like a crazy home.
That's
grandma's
great.
house. Yeah. And there were people who were like they were like, we had like helpers who would only do food, helpers would only groom. So it was like a weird way to grow up, but you know that I really, really love animals, and I think like that's as early as like 4 years old. That was like.
First of all, we're showing you a photo right now. Your timestamp is 2009. You look exactly the same.
And your hair's just longer, but you legit look the same.
Oh, thank you.
You know what, hindi pa rin ako makaget over sa 30 dogs, right?
Yeah,
oh my
my
goodness.
grandma had 30.
I thought I already had a lot of cats. I have 10 cats at home, so I thought
That's
that was
a lot.
already.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's a
it
lot.
gets really chaotic,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So what was the moment you realized that, you wanted to cook for animals and not cook for humans anymore?
Not just for
Actually,
you.
Not
that
just for
came like
humans.
much later because I had a Labrador that got sick, and then the vet told me that he's depressed and he's old because his partner of 12 years died. So they were like, I think you should just try to give him he's terminal, so you have just try to give him good food, good life. So I was like, okay, so I started trying to cook. And I was like, this is making him, eat more, eat better a bit at least. But how many people have this problem, right?
Yeah.
So I started asking around, like the vets, like how the dogs are when they're sick and how food is important. And then they told me it was so important to the point that, sometimes when the dogs don't eat, they get sicker.
Yeah.
And there are so limited choices. So that's when it kind of started that I was thinking that, hey, there might be something in here, but I don't know if anyone else is going to be interested. But if ever someone's interested in natural food, if they're not, then I'll just feed it to my animals. But if they are, then we're like-minded people. We might have something here. So I was really lucky that I had good vets around. Even during that time, that was 14, 15 years ago. So they were really saying that, you try it. compared to like, the others that I've talked to, they're kind of like, no, we're just more of, we want the packaged ones.
But I heard it is better to give your pets natural and home-cooked meals versus the kibble.
Yeah, I mean, we're in 2025 and, after the pandemic, humans started to like be more conscious about what they eat, what they take in, how their food affects their health and everything. And that kind of flowed into everyone in the family, including the pets and our animals. So it used to be so hard to explain that clean food and, knowing the source and having it fresh is so important. Prior to the pandemic, but after the pandemic, it was like so much easier to talk to people about it because, people understand like health is wealth and prevention is really key.
What would you say would be the biggest difference when you're cooking for animals versus humans? Because animals have a lot of, they can't eat this and that.
There's like a really long list of what you can and can't feed. I think the biggest challenge or the biggest difference would be the nutritional requirements of people versus animals and what species you're talking about. So with cats, they're more of carnivores, and dogs, they can eat like, the same stuff that we eat, but not all the same. So that was kind of like the challenge. I needed to like be specific on what I wanted to specialize in. For now, it's dogs and cats.
Yeah. It's so funny because you come from a family of chefs.
Yeah.
Cafe Isabel, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
That's where your family has their culinary roots.
Yeah.
But what was their reaction when they saw you start to not only really make can we call it fine dining for pets?
Better eating,
healthy eating. Yeah.
You
Whole
know
food,
what? Like my dad's like my #1 champion, telling
that's so
everyone, even prior to like even non-pet owners, really, oh my daughter makes food for animals, and they're like, what? I mean, real food, like, my dog eats this, and and some people just don't get it. But then, I was actually really, really like surprised with, the support I got, especially like from my dad, because I would think he'd be like, oh, you should like, try and be a chef for people or what, and then I go here, and then, right? So it's like, I'm really thankful. We actually did some collabs and we enjoyed it because he's also like a pet lover. So, it's fun and it's different, and it puts something different in the mix.
So your dad is your #1 supporter.
Yes,
and your toughest critics are actually the dogs and the cats, and they can't really tell you kung anong favorite nila, kung anong favorite dish. So when you're coming up with, your menu, so to speak, how do you, balance nutrition and flavor? And does flavor really matter?
How do you test flavor?
How do you test
Because I know that you cannot put salt, too much salt, right?
There are like a lot of restrictions when you're doing home cooking. But then I guess that's where my culinary background kind of enters. Like, it's just like making food for sick people, if you know. Like there's so many restrictions. There's a list. And in my experience, growing up, I've watched my dad actually make food for our sick relatives. Like there's like, all these restrictions, and he will come up with something that's like, whoa, how did you come up with something like this for a sick person? And I guess that's like kind of what I do, but it's for animals. And because I'm using human grade ingredients anyway, I can taste it myself. But, animals are more sensory. Like cats can smell the amino acid in the food. They can smell the freshness of the protein, stuff like that. So it's kind of like, it's kind of, they can really tell. So it's kind of like hard to, like put a lot of flavorings and stuff.
How do you source ingredients?
We just use the stuff we use in the restaurant. So I have a supplier of the restaurant for vegetables, meats, and everything. And that's where we get it. We just get it in bulk. So
And what about the pet community? How has their response been to you being, I guess, the only pet chef here in the Philippines?
Well, actually, at the start, it was like, we found so many like-minded people, but it was like a slow kind of thing because you'd have pet lovers and they're still stuck in that, oh, the only food we can feed is the one in the package.
Right. Yeah.
But then when you try to explain and show them the possibilities of, all these things in the cans and packages can be made from scratch in a healthier way without preservatives. And that makes a load of difference in your dog's longevity. So when they hear about time being given back to them as a pet owner, they kind of start listening because, that's the only thing they have with their pets, time.
Right,
and we're so glad that we're able to give that back to them. So, sorry, I kind of lost myself there. So,
No, it's okay.
Actually, she mentioned time, and I know that you have senior pets.
Yeah,
right? You have a
yeah.
16-year-old Chihuahua, Sally, and Mr. Jack, and your 14-year-old Golden Retriever, that's Mr. Jack, right?
And 28 other dogs.
Oh, yeah.
That was before, we used to have 30
okay.
dogs. When my grandmother passed, we slowly just not bred anything.
Yeah.
But if you think about it, 16 years old na dog, right? And that's a long time.
Yeah,
Do you think that, feeding them nutritious and fresh food helps in, their longevity?
Yeah, actually, I'm I know it's my product and it's what I do, but I'm such a firm believer that whatever I did is the reason why my dogs are living so long.
Okay.
And I guess my cats as well. I mean, I started having cats in 2020 during the pandemic. So, you just discover this after so long. Because when we started 14 years ago, there wasn't any research about it. There was very limited research about it, and they're only coming out with it now.
Yeah.
So, now, all these things, all these ideas that I was putting into the food and all this research are starting to come together, being validated by other animal nutritionists and, researchers, that it does make a difference, just as it makes a difference for people. So it's just more of they're doing a lot more research on it now, and it's so nice. And what a time to be alive for our pets.
Honestly, I mean, that should have been done, I feel years ago, way back before you started it. But is there a particular meal that your pets love that you make? And what's inside of it?
Oh, my dogs are so easy to please. My gosh, you see them? They're they're always eating, and they're always they love my cooking. The hardest my hardest critics are really the cats.
Oh, yeah.
I have this cat that I found in the garbage, and she is just gourmet. She's not gonna eat certain things.
Oh my goodness, I think they're like that.
Yeah, it's so hard. It's very hard. Cats are they can smell if the food, if the protein is new or what. So,
And they have judging eyes.
yeah, they do.
Do they judge you?
Look behind you.
No. They're
judging
a bit
eyes.
happy. They're a bit happy there.
Yeah.
But can you describe how it feels when they don't like your cooking?
Well, they're just not gonna touch it. My cats aren't gonna touch it if they don't like it. So that's why it took us so long to come out with cat food and cat cakes.
Yeah.
Because of that. Dogs are so easy to please. You just give them something you made, and then when they see that you served it to them, they're extra. Even if it's not that good, they're extra.
They'll eat it.
They'll eat it, but the cats are I'm not gonna touch that if that doesn't fit in my checklist.
Chef, you said cat cakes.
Yeah.
What is in a cat cake?
Fish.
Well, right now our cat cakes are made with coconut flour, 3 kinds of fish, virgin coconut oil, and a little vegetables. And oh my gosh, that took 2 years to
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my
That's a long
goodness.
It's a long time because we wanted it to be if we feed it to a cat, at least 80% of them would eat it. And we're only at 80 here, so it's not like dogs. So they'll get excited when you give them.
Now, what about the dog cake? What's in a dog cake?
We have our dog cakes now. We have 4 kinds, but mostly it's like we have liver, coconut flour, virgin coconut oil. That's what we use. Vegetables. And for the colors, we just use all natural coloring. Like the blues you see are from petals of a flower and turmeric and beets. So all of that is naturally colored. We don't use
is so
any
pretty.
food
The cake
coloring.
looks delicious, actually, Chef.
It tastes pretty good.
Yeah, it
It's
looks
just
really
not
yummy.
salty or anything. So
Or sweet? Not
yeah,
sweet.
it's not sweet.
Yeah, I can't wait for all of us to try it later na walang aso, no? I mean, like, but of course, I'm sure a lot of people, especially those who hear this, want to know more about how to prepare homemade meals. How would you encourage them to start or do it safely?
So to do it safely, of course, if you have like an ingredient in mind, you have to do the research of whether it's safe or not. And then you make sure that if you want to go all in and do it yourself, you make sure you have like a good recipe that's complete and balanced. So that's kind of a bit hard to find. So if you want to do something like start something at home, you can take your commercial food and top it with like steamed vegetables and meat. So that's the easiest way to kind of like make your pet food healthier.
Okay.
And if you're feeding kibble, you put water or like a broth.
Okay.
So it's not so hard in the kidneys. So that would be like the easiest tip I would give.
Okay.
But as I said, I've always said that no matter what supplement you put in there, if the raw materials, like the food is bad, you know, the body can't use it properly if it's not good quality. So you always strive for the best that you can get.
I can't wait to feed my dogs later all of a sudden and possibly reach out. But then, for those who do want to reach out to Whole Pet Kitchen, how can they see your products and how can they avail of it? And of course, how can they reach out to you?
Okay, we have pet partners, like some Pet Express branches have it. Also, some Pet Lovers Center branches also have it. But our main branch, our commissary, is in San Juan, so we have a store there. You can reach out through Instagram or Instagram Whole Pet Kitchen or our official website, and you know, or just message us on IG and we'll get back to you.
I think I'm passing by later. I think I'm gonna feed my 6 Shih Tzus.
Hold on, I'll follow you now on Instagram. I'll order for my 10 cats.
I'm gonna send some over because I forgot it at home.
No, it's okay.
No problem.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, and thank you for making the meals of our pets tasty.
And gourmet.
And gourmet and healthy. All of a sudden, we want to try it.
Speaking of food, make sure to stay with us because we're still going to be hungry, because up ahead, we're still talking about food. We take a peek into the Filipino food scene in Vegas, where Fil-Am restaurateurs try to tell the world Filipino food is more than just ube, lumpia, pansit, and adobo. That conversation after the break. It's a beautiful day. We'll be right back. And welcome back. You're still watching. It's a beautiful day. Now, as we celebrate Filipino Food Month this April, we take a look at how excellent Filipino chefs tell the story of the Filipino food around the world. We're checking out the Filipino food scene all the way to the Sin City, Las Vegas. And this time, what happens in Vegas doesn't stay in Vegas. Filipino restaurant owners Walbert, Castillo, and Monica Blanco joins us via Zoom to talk more about it. It's a beautiful day, Walbert and Monica. Good evening over there.
Good evening, good morning. Hello po. How are you?
Good. Now, Monica, they're daring us to do this whole segment in Tagalog. I'm not sure how that will go, so we'll stick.
Just kidding.
Oh, I was like, oh, she's game.
She's game.
Okay, you know what? Let's try the first question in Tagalog, okay? Let's try this. So, oh my gosh, I can't do it anymore. Mahal na mahal ko yung ginagawa nyo with the mga pagkain of the Filipino cuisine. So, can you tell me about the upcoming event, the Isang Kusina that you guys are holding over there? It turned into a Tagalog accent, not Tagalog anymore.
It's okay. It's hard to switch.
I know, my nose is bleeding.
But I'll let Walbert kind of explain the beginnings and the origins of Isang Kusina.
Yeah, so thank you so much for having us. So Isang Kusina is going to take place next week, Monday, April 14th, where we're bringing together 6 Filipino chefs across the country to collaborate under Isang Kusina. And so it's so exciting because it's Filipino Food Month. This will kick things off in Las Vegas. We have such a slew of activities coming your way, but this is an opportunity to push Filipino food forward in the diaspora. It's exciting because a lot of these chefs, they come from various backgrounds, different regions across the Philippines and different areas of the US. So for them to come down, create a prefix 6-course menu, given their passion and the culinary space, it's so exciting.
Yeah, first of all, I want to apologize for my partner. I don't know why she was so excited. But then let's go first to, I want to go back to Monica here because I'm just looking at all the stuff that you put out, the content, especially when it comes to Filipino food. And a lot of it does involve really exploring the heritage and not just in one area. You go up and down. You're exploring food from Mindanao, you're exploring food from different regions. Just could you give us a bit of a background of how this started for the both of you in general, and why is it so important to share this type of heritage in almost a storytelling way that you guys do?
I know you called me out, but I'm gonna kick it to Walbert since he is the founder. He is the founder of Historia, but I am a champion of his whole story.
All right, sorry about that. Yeah, Walbert, can you go ahead?
I'll take it for that, yeah.
No worries. So I think our origin Historia starts about 4 years ago. I traveled to the Philippines to retrace my ancestral roots with my cousins. All of us from the US, we traveled to Mindanao, where my mom is from, and we essentially retraced our grandma's journey of life. She had passed away the year before, so it was really us navigating through all the different places that she had lived across her livelihood. And so what ended up happening was we ended up in Osamis City, where my great-grandparents are currently buried. We found our great-grandmother's tombstone, but we couldn't find our great-grandfather's. And so we had to catch a flight to Cebu, but something was telling me to stop. We were in the process of searching for our great-grandfather's grave, but something inside of me told me to stop. And so I took a collective breath, I paused, and I found a bamboo stick, and I started digging. And then I found the top of his tombstone.
Oh, wow.
After digging that out in Osamis. And what's really crazy is that for me, that story was, our heritage isn't always hidden. It's been there this whole time. And so a lot of us Filipino Americans, I'm a second generation Filipino American, same with Monica, we all feel so disconnected by our Filipino roots. And for something like that to have happened to me, it was an awakening call. It made me realize, after I learned about my own origin story, I was like, why not tell the origin story of our people? Because that's how I'll be proud of who we are and how we are as a community. So I thought, okay, I come from a storytelling background. My culinary knowledge is very limited, but I love being able to put the two together, right? I'm passionate about storytelling. I love Filipino food and culture. So why not bring that into a shared space? So then Historia was born. And so what we did is, it's just focusing on all the different chapters of Philippine history through this complex timeline. Every dinner series we do focuses on a different chapter in Philippine history.
In this event, isang kusina, right? Yeah. You know, when people talk about Filipino food, they think ube, adobo, as mentioned a while ago, right? But little do they know that Filipino food actually has a lot of regional layers. Like you go from Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, we have different dishes with different textures, different tastes. So it's not just about, you know, lumpia or pansit or adobo. In this event that you are putting up, how does this cover, or what do you call this? How does this cover the whole diversity of Filipino food?
I think the answer is also in that question itself, right? Like the whole menu does represent 3 different, you know, chapters in our timeline of Filipino culinary history. And we're divided. We say all the time we're 7,641 islands apart. That also means that our food, like you said, there's a lot of layers. There's different regional differences through, you know, the ingredients that are available to us, through even the stories that come along with it that help shape what the food looks like. And so the current menu for Isang Kusina is representative of origins, which is pre-colonial. Binondo, Chinoy food and Chinese influences, and then Sulu, the food of Muslim Mindanao. And since Walbert started Historia, we were really able to bring the community together through, you know, informing them and empowering them with our own research, with the stories that we learned from historians based in the Philippines, from culinary experts based in the Philippines.
You know, Monica, I love what you guys mentioned a while ago, especially when you talk about when Walbert talked about rediscovering the heritage, because I don't think a lot of people, at least here based at home, realize that Filipino Americans in particular are actually looking for traces of the history or the heritage that connects them to the Philippines, and a lot of them find it through food. How has the Filipino community in Las Vegas in particular, or wherever you do end up in, respond to these types of menus, these types of stories, that it goes beyond the basic the basic Filipino food that we always talk about, or that goes viral from time to time?
So as a second-gen Filipino American, I've always felt disconnected by my roots, as I had mentioned earlier. And this is very common amongst Filipinos in the diaspora. We have found that by opening our doors through the lens of Filipino history and food, we are increasing awareness, and we are providing that extension. We're giving them that nudge, the same nudge that I had as I was in the cemetery with my great-grandparents, and you know, making me realize that our heritage is there. It just needs that gentle nudge. And so we're here to do that. We're here to provide people that bamboo stick and bring them on this culinary journey that is our Historia.
And I think as a guest, you know, I attended an Historia dinner first as a guest. I didn't understand, you know, what I was walking into when I first went to the dinner, but it's the power of storytelling, right? Like I think Filipinos and all of us, our ancestors, oral tradition is very important to, you know, understanding, preserving our history. And it didn't feel like a history lesson, you know, when I was sitting at the dinner. It really felt like, you know, everything was, you know, very intentional with the way that Historia was, you know, sharing our story, the history.
Now, I'm curious because, you know, I also am a Fil-Am, so that's why my Tagalog is not the best. And Monica, I saw that we actually have a few, actually more than a few common friends. But you guys own a Filipino restaurant there in Vegas. And I know growing up in the US, Filipino hospitals, Filipino restaurants are not really a thing. So how was it, especially being in Vegas, how was it piercing the food scene there with the extravagant tourism and hospitality, and how do you guys present Filipino food to non-Filipinos?
Yeah, I think what you'll start to find is that there is a semblance of Filipinos wanting to rediscover who they are through food. A lot of that is lost, right? But I think for the most part, Vegas has a hodgepodge of all of these Filipino establishments, that are mom and pop, very very traditional in a sense of pika pika, your carinderia. You'll be surprised to find that you can be transported to the Philippines here with some of the titas and the titos just creating these restaurants here in Las Vegas. But what we found is Vegas, surprisingly, while we see it as the precipice of premier hospitality, you'll find that when you go to the Strip, there are no Filipino restaurants at all. And so, you know, while there might be a few sort of, you know, I'm gonna go here, it's very food court style. There's no like restaurant where you can actually sit down and have that experience. So what we're doing is kind of new here in this city, which is really exciting because a lot of other cities like LA, New York, Chicago, you know, they've had that momentum and you see it through their lenses. But Vegas hasn't really caught up yet, surprisingly.
You know, let's put the spotlight on your menu at Historia. Are there any dishes that surprised you that, you know, foreigners found, wow, this is so good, and you didn't expect that at all?
The entire menu.
Well, since each dinner series has a different menu that represents that period in time, I think, you know, you'll find different responses depending on which pop-up series it is. But I would say more significantly, our Sulu dinner series had, you know, it reminded us of why we do what we do. Do you want to explain kind of what happened?
Yeah. So based on the videos that you're seeing here, our team traveled to Mindanao, specifically Tawi-Tawi and Zamboanga, to learn from their culture bearers and the community. We traveled with Clang Garcia, and essentially they had opened their doors to us to teach us their dishes. And what was amazing was that we were able to take notes, do research, and bring all of those insights over to our team here to really create an inspired menu based on our travels. And so what better way to provide a voice for the Muslim Filipino community than to show them ourselves. So we filmed a documentary while we were there, and while you're having this 12-dish tasting menu, you're seeing and you're hearing from the people that are making these dishes. And so it's an experience. We do food and we do documentary film at the same time.
But to speak to the question about, you know, the menu and
the food
and responses so far, there were two people that are very important and significant to us, one being Armida and the second being Jovan. So Armida first learned about Historia through, you know, Walbert promoting the event. She came up to him right afterwards and was like, oh my gosh, you know, I'm
Tausug.
Yeah,
my family is from Polo Sulu, and I had no idea that anyone in Las Vegas would be serving cuisine from this region at all. And so, yeah, it like snowballed.
Yeah, you can really see that it was very empowering for her to see her culture, her identity, and the nuances of it as well represented through our dinner.
But one of the amazing things that we had done too is we were able to buy the pamapa itum. It consists of siunug lahing, which is burnt coconut, and that's primarily used for two key dishes in this region called Pyanggang manok and tiola itum. So what we did was we brought these ingredients to Las Vegas, and we were able to serve these dishes. We were able to provide a new sense of depth beyond dinuguan, right? They're like, oh, this is blackened, you know, is this dinuguan? They're like, no, it's totally different.
Yeah.
And so I think that was the surprise factor that, you know, we're more than, you know, ube, adobo, but we're more than dinuguan.
Yes.
So much more.
Yeah, what you
out
guys
there.
are doing with the Filipino food scene over there in Vegas is just amazing with all the sensory experiences. But I want to go back and talk about your upcoming event, the Isang Kusina. You mentioned earlier there's going to be 6 Filipino chefs. So can you tell us who those 6 Filipino chefs will be? Because I'm so curious.
Yeah, definitely. We're gonna go line, you know, down the list. Our first chef that we're featuring is Kimmy McIntosh from Milkfish Bake Shop, and she's actually a local here to Las Vegas. She was actually nominated as the 2024 James Beard semifinalist for Outstanding pastry chef and baker. I have a cheat sheet to my right, so I'm sorry if I'm
That's okay.
yeah, Walbert.
We definitely don't want to get anything wrong here. But the next chef that we have is Harold Villarosa. Harold started out as a dishwasher in McDonald's and rose to fame in the culinary scene as he worked in Noma in Denmark. And so he currently works at a restaurant called Oko in Austin, but he was named NY1's New Yorker of the Week. And he starred on Vice's Munchies, Bon Appetit, and he also starred in Food Network's Barbecue Crawl.
Wow.
Yes. And then we have another local who is the executive chef of Momofuku Las Vegas. And he landed Momofuku at Las Vegas Review's top 100 restaurants.
His name is James Bailey. Yeah, it's really exciting to see that caliber. James also worked at Noma as well in Denmark, but Harold and James didn't actually coincide their experience with one another. So it's really exciting to see that overlap though. The next chef is Monique Febesi. She owns a restaurant called Tarts de Febis in Oakland, California in the Bay. And she was nominated this year for James Beard Award, semi-finalist for Outstanding Pastry Chef or Baker. And she was featured in Top Chef as well as Food Network as well, where she won an episode.
All right, well, sorry, go ahead.
We have two more. And then
Go ahead, sorry, yes.
And Fil-Am is a friend of mine too. His name is Josh Espinoza. I'm not sure if you've seen any content from Sampa in LA, but they're absolutely, killing it over there. It was the best Filipino restaurant in downtown LA, and then part of Yelp's top 5 Filipino restaurants in LA.
And last but not least, Astoria's executive chef, Kat Carlucci. She worked in Napa with culinary school, but she later became the executive sous chef at Momofuku Las Vegas at the Cosmopolitan as well. And with her, along with us, we were able to bring Astoria to winning Best Pop-Up Restaurant in Las Vegas by the Las Vegas Weekly.
Well, congratulations on that. And guys, I'm sorry, but we have to wrap things up in just a bit. But before I let you go, personally, I want to ask you, when you talk about retelling the stories from the history of the Philippines through their culinary cuisine, through their craft, from the regions, especially from Salunda and Formosa Mindanao. But what story do you want the customers, your audience, to leave with after they experience being in Astoria, hearing your story, and of course, experiencing all this Filipino food, especially with the Isang Kusina coming right up?
Personally, I want them to leave feeling more connected than they've ever been. Walbert and I both come from the Midwest. We share very similar stories of feeling that disconnection to our identity. And to me, when it comes to what we do, I think food is a portal. Food is a portal to any conversation that you want to have. It's a uniting vessel that we all depend on food to live, right? So it speaks volumes when you can be intentional and connect to more than what's on your plate.
Well, Monique, sorry, go ahead, Walbert.
Oh, no, sorry. I definitely want to make sure you have a response if anything. Sorry.
No. It's just perfect. We're going to leave it at that for the meantime. But of course, you can check them out over on social media as well. They are Las Vegas restaurant owners Walbert Castillo and Monica Blanco. Maraming salamat. Thank you so much for joining us. And honestly, I can't wait to fly to Vegas one time and try some of your food.
Yeah, same.
All right.
Yes, come on over. We'll be gladly to have you.
All right, so we got more stories for you after the break, plus our horoscope of the day with Master Hans Kua. It's a beautiful day. We'll be right back. Welcome back. You're still watching It's a Beautiful Day. This is Weather HQ. Now, currently, there are two weather systems that are affecting the country, so let's take a look at the local weather. The first is a northeasterly surface wind impacting the northern part of Luzon. And the second is the easterlies, which is affecting the rest of the country. Now, in northern zone, the northeasterly surface wind will bring cloudy skies with rain to Cagayan Valley, Apayao, Kalinga, Mountain Province, Ifugao, and Aurora. Now, this system will also cause partly cloudy to cloudy skies with isolated light rains in the Ilocos region and the rest of the Cordillera Administrative Region. Now, for Metro Manila and the rest of the country, the easterlies will result in partly cloudy to cloudy skies with isolated rain showers or thunderstorms. Now let's take a look at how the heat index is figuring out because of these two weather systems. This is coming from Pag-asa. Now, several areas are experiencing severe heat, placing them in the danger zone. 3 locations with a heat index of 43 degrees Celsius include Dagupan ng Pangasinan, Coron, Palawan, and San Jose Occidental, Mindoro. Now, other locations in the danger zone with a heat index of 42 degrees Celsius include Etiaga and Isabela, Subic Bay, Olongapo, San Ildefonso, Bulacan, Aborlan, Palawan, Rojas City, and Dumangas, Iloilo. Additional areas in the danger zone with a heat index of 42 degrees Celsius include Panglao, Bohol, Catarban, Northern Samar, Dipolog, Zamboanga del Norte, Zamboanga City, Musuan in Bukidnon, Cotabato City, and Butuan City. Areas with a heat index of 41 degrees Celsius, now under extreme caution, also include Metro Manila, Bacnotan, La Union, Tuguegarao City, Iba, Zambales, Clark, Pampanga, Muñoz, Nueva Ecija, San Ildefonso in Bulacan. Additional areas with a heat index of 41 degrees Celsius now also include Tayabas in Quezon, Puerto Princesa City, Pili, Camarines Sur, Iloilo City, La Granja, La Carlota, Negros Occidental, Tacloban, Leyte, General Santos City, and Hinatuan in Surigao del Sur. Now, with these extreme heat conditions, it is vital to take precautions, stay safe, and vigilant during these hot weather conditions. A reminder that the heat index is the feels-like temperature, not just the air temperature. It also takes the humidity into account, so that's the temperature you are actually going to feel. Now, let's see if the sea conditions are going to be affected. Fortunately, not this time. No gale warnings are in effect throughout the country, which means fishermen and mariners can freely go wherever around the country safely. Now, however, it's essential to stay alert and monitor any weather updates or advisories that may be issued. Weather conditions can shift rapidly, so it is vital to always prioritize safety and be prepared. We now move on to global weather. Intense wildfires have been raging across the hillsides of Scottish island of Bute, with thick smoke and flames visible in the air. Since the weekend, firefighters in Scotland have been battling numerous blazes sparked by warm and dry conditions. SFRS announced on Monday that the very high wildfire warning would last until Wednesday. Firefighters responded to 90 outdoor fires over the weekend with warm weather ahead. SFRS urges caution in rural areas and to avoid lighting fires. Now, heavy raining in Bolivia, which began in November, have caused severe flooding in the northeastern region of Beni, leaving residents in a critical situation by April 6. The intense rainfall, among the worst in decades, has submerged soy fields and ranches, threatening exports and driving up local food prices. In towns like Puerto Almacen and Puerto Bolivian, families have been forced to flee their homes, taking refuge in makeshift shelters. In Loma Calatayud, crops like rice, plantains, and cassava have been destroyed by rising waters. Experts attribute the worsening weather patterns to climate change, with the floods impacting 590,000 families and causing at least 55 deaths. The European Center for Medium-Range Weather Forecasts, or ECMWF, is using artificial intelligence to improve global wildfire predictions. Their new probability of fire model incorporates machine learning to analyze a broader range of data, including fuel sources like vegetation and ignition factors, alongside weather conditions. This method provides more accurate weather predictions of where wildfires may occur, addressing limitations of the previous fire weather index, which only considered temperature, wind, humidity, and precipitation. This advanced forecasting tool can help fire prevention agencies better allocate resources and manage risks. And that's it for Weather HQ at the moment. Back to you, girls.
Thank you, Pao. Now, from the weather to the stars, what do the stars have in store for us today? Let's go find out from our resident energizer and feng shui master, Hans Kua, in our horoscope of the day. Go ahead, Master Hans.
Good morning! It's a beautiful day with me, Master Hans Kua. Ito po ang horoscope for today, Thursday, April 10. Para sa mga pinanganak ng Year of the Rat, magpa-check up kung kailangan. Tandaan na prevention is better than cure. Yellow at 5. Kay Ox naman tayo ang paglaan ng emergency fund ay dapat maging prioridad ngayong buwan. Pink at 9. Kay Tiger naman huwag hayaan ang maliit na tampuhan na sumira ng relasyon nyo. Pag-usapan ng maayos. White at 1. Kay Year of the Rabbit naman tayo, isang mentor o kaibigan ang magbibigay ng mahalagang payo tungkol sa trabaho. Orange at 7. Kay Year of the Dragon naman tayo mag-focus sa quality ng trabaho kesa quantity. Ito ang mapapansin ng iyong boss. Purple at 4. Kay Year of the Snake naman, maglaan ng oras para sa self-care. Isang oras araw-araw. Black at 2. Ito naman kay Year of the Horsey. Mag-ingat sa mga tao mahilig magpakalat ng chismis. Panatilihing pribado ang relasyon. Gray at 6. Kay Year of the Ship naman mag-focus sa passive na income tulad ng rental, properties, or online business. Brown at 5. Kay Year of the Monkey naman tayo iwasan ang impulse buying. Maglaan ng oras sa pag-aaral ng financial planning. Gold at 8. Kay Rooster naman tayo, iwasan ang paninigarilyo at iba pang bisyo. Hindi yan maganda. Panahon na upang magbagong buhay. Pink at 3. Sa mga Year of the Dog naman tayo, mag-invest sa edukasyon. Ito ang magbibigay ng pangmatagalang benepisyo. Blue at 9. At kay Year of the Pig naman tayo, mag-focus sa teamwork. Ang suporta ng grupo ang magdadala ng tagumpay. Green at 7. Ako po si Master Hans Kua. Paalala lang, ito po'y patnubay lamang. Ang tunay na swerte ay nagsisimula sa pagiging totoo. Abangan po abangan araw-araw ang horoscope of the day. Dito lang po sa It's a Beautiful Day with me, Master Hans Kua.
Thank you so much, Master Hans Kua. You know our besties from Mellow 94.7, Denise and Dayan, they always look forward to the horoscope of the day.
Why not the rest of the show?
No. They always watch It's a Beautiful Day, but when it's Master Hans, they get so excited and they make abang talaga their
Sige, next time we see them, we're gonna test them if they watch the whole show or if it's just Master Hans.
Yeah.
Like yesterday, we were talking about how you were probably just watching Master Hans, not us.
Yeah, just waiting for your horoscope and then you're done.
Yeah, literally.
That's not true. But anyway, we have No, kasi there's a TV in front of the booth. So while you're doing your show, you're watching Billionario there right in front of you. So
yeah, but are you listening?
It's a beautiful day. Yeah, I do listen.
Her tone changed.
Okay. Oh my goodness. Anyway, guys, we are putting the spotlight on the no boyfriend since birth queens on Love Hacks. Dating Coach V will join us for that conversation after the break. It's a beautiful day. We'll be right back. And welcome back. You're still watching It's a Beautiful Day. Now here's to the ladies who've checked off personal and career milestones but find themselves wondering about one thing that's eluded them since birth. Still on the hunt for the one after all these years? Dating Coach V joins us on Love Hacks to talk about the queens who haven't found their king just yet. Take it away, Coach V.
Love Hacks, we got you. No need to be sad.
Good morning, loves. It's a beautiful day. Coach V here, your go-to love solution provider, bringing you a brand new way to level up your love life. Welcome to Love Hacks. Today's episode is for the late bloomers, the happily single, the NBSB queens na thriving on their 20s and 30s, but quietly asking, should I give love a shot? Let's get into it. Here's today's love story from a post titled, Late 20s na, no jowa since birth people. Do you feel pressured or not? Take it away, Anne.
All right, here we go. I just turned 28, no boyfriend since birth. My parents don't pressure me. Wala rin naman akong FOMO right now. Pero as I get older, feeling ko nakakalungkot kapag di pa rin ako nagka-boyfriend. Do you feel the same? I'm very content and happy right now, not looking for a boyfriend. I just think sooner or later, I might feel sad. A feeling that's normal, but I won't let it consume me to the point of being desperate. I love my life right now. Hehehe.
Relate ba kayo, mga loves? Nako, let's ask our co-host, what time did you start welcoming love in your life? Was it early in your life or later in your life?
I got my first girlfriend at 18.
18?
Yeah.
Oh.
So 17, sorry, 17. I was 17.
I think same. I was a junior in high school.
Okay,
Yeah.
high
that's like
school
17.
and what? 12. Let me guess, Anne.
Wait, I don't want to guess.
Wait, hold on. I know
She had a boyfriend since she was a baby.
age of grade 6 usually.
Grade 6?
Yeah.
12, 11 years old?
I knew it. Yeah, I was grade 6 and then I think first year high school. There you
Yeah,
go.
she has 12 years old on her face. All right, well,
Kakaya naman sa
interesting.
28-year-old na single since birth.
I know Anne had a boyfriend 12 pa lang.
Hindi
my neighbor.
Hindi makaka-relate si Anne, but this is for all the ladies who's on their late 20s and 30s pero pinag-iisipan pa if they want love in their life. So let's break it down, loves. You are thriving, you're free, you're content. And that's amazing because not everybody gets to say that, but here's a science bomb for your heart. According to research from psychologist Dr. Susan Pinker, people in meaningful romantic relationships are 50% more likely to report higher life satisfaction. And love, yes, romantic love, it boosts longevity, lowers stress hormones, increases dopamine in our brains, kumbaga yung feel-good juice. So does that mean that being single makes you die early? Hindi naman. But it does mean giving you or giving love a chance is one of the best gifts you can ever give yourself, even when you're already happy. Now, to all the NBSB na happy but curious, here's your love hack checklist. Number 1. Don't wait to be sad before acting or finding love. Prevent the "what if I missed out" regret. Open your heart now habang you're emotionally stable and ready at hindi pa desperate. Number 2, date like you are hiring. Think of dating as hiring for the role of partner in your joy. O, di ba? You don't need a savior. You need a co-founder for your already amazing life. Step 3, baby steps count. Try one new thing muna. Say yes to a setup date, reply to that cute DM, or go on low-stakes coffee date. It doesn't mean you're weak kapag naghahanap ka ng love. It means you are courageous enough to take a chance and explore joy in another form, called LOVE. Bonus truth, love. Giving love a chance doesn't mean you're not enough. It means you're open to more lang, more connection, more growth, more "good morning, baby" moments. So, to the queen who asked, here's her answer. Yes, you are winning. Yes, you are whole. But love isn't there to complete you, It's there to amplify what's already beautiful in your life. Remember, loves, love is still the most beautiful human experience and you are free to enjoy it while you're still young. Even kasi independent ka minsan, it's nice to have someone who says, "What time do you finish work? Pick you up, dinner tayo." Ay, let's go! Sayang naman if you die without experiencing kilig, di ba? That's it for today, loves. This is Coach V giving you real talk about real love. wants us to give your love problems real solutions backed by sass and a lot of science? Send us your direct message now to Dating Coach V on Instagram. And let's not just talk about love. Let's experience it, okay? Join me again next week and have a beautiful day. Love you.
Grabe, it's so funny because for Anne, it was not what time do you get off work, it was what time does the school bus bring you home.
Yes, actually. No, somebody because they were neighbors, so they were busmates.
No, we weren't busmates.
Different schools?
Yeah.
I'm dying.
Yeah, and then siya parang, oh, what time yung school bus mo, Dad? Mga 5, nandito na.
I can't believe you remember your first boyfriend.
He was our neighbor. He lived right next door.
I just don't know how you remember when you were like 12.
my
How does
gosh.
dating goes when you're 12?
No,
Sino
syempre,
manlilibre ng
actually,
date? Let's ask
actually,
Anne. Who pays for the date?
Hindi. Of course, it's puppy love. Bata pa
okay,
kami.
okay.
So, ang date namin, we'll just go to mass together. Pag
We'll go to
Sunday,
mass together.
You guys don't eat
It's
together?
awesome. Yeah.
Hold on, I
Go
just
to the
curious.
park,
I just
or-
learned a term from you. So you said like the people that are younger, they have a what is it like a MOA? Mutual
What is it?
MU.
MU. MU.
They have a memorandum of agreement.
MOAs.
Si Anne and her boyfriend had a memorandum of agreement before.
MU, not MOA.
Wait.
Same thing. Mutual understanding. Memorandum of agreement, same thing lang.
Did you, have you signed a MOA with your partner now?
You never had an MU or a MOA.
MU, mutual
She was talking to me
understanding.
about a move before, and I was like, huh?
Yeah, it's
But
MU.
because you know,
Never heard of
MU is so Pinoy. They don't know that abroad.
Exactly, that's why she
That's
didn't know
why.
about it.
If
And
you're
then we
dating,
had to
you're
explain
dating.
what an MU is.
MOA lang ang meron sa kanila, walang MU sa abroad. You have to sign it before dating me, tapos may NDA pa kami.
Napaka-business-like naman ang dating sa US. Ayoko na.
12 years
lang tayo.
No, but going back to the topic, yung mga no boyfriend since birth, included ba doon yung mga walang MU or nagka-MU dati na hindi lang nakataluyan?
Oo, pwede kasing kapag no boyfriend since birth, hindi ka man nakahanap ng somebody that's worth it maging boyfriend. Pero nagkaroon naman siguro yan ng mga di ba, flirt,
Yeah, of
MU,
course.
yeah.
But sometimes kasi the reason why hindi sila nagbo-boyfriend kasi takot sila sa lalaki. When I was early on my 20s, ganun ako. So wala ding mga side mga fling-fling kasi takot pa. So
Paano yung mga career woman?
yung
Mga
what about
career
too
woman,
busy for
sometimes they're
love,
too busy
maybe.
for love.
Yeah.
Yan yung approach na kung bakit wala silang boyfriend.
Maraming ganyan, Pao, lalo na kapag mga nasa 30s and 40s na nakikilala namin sila. They say, I'm done with my career, I have money, now it's time to date. Medyo na.
Smaller pool.
Smaller pool
Yeah,
na. May
yeah.
date pa din pero smaller pool na. But sometimes kasi, like for example, if your parents got sick, di ba? You have to take care of them on your 20s. So iba-iba. But whatever age, pwede pa. Pero as much as possible, as early as possible, maghanap-hanap ka na, mag-vet ka na dapat.
12 years old?
Masyadong maaga. Sorry, Anne.
Oh, that is
Enjoy
so
na.
good.
Sorry, not sorry.
On that MUA.
I am dying.
MU.
Mutual Understanding Agreement.
MU lang.
Uy, baka may mga nanonood na 12 years old. Disclaimer.
And then katabi nila yung magulang nila, no?
And then Anne's like, yeah, it's fine to date at 12.
No. Let's not encourage that, please.
Yeah, I'm not encouraging it. I was just
have a fun time. Crush lang
it's
siguro.
puppy love.
Crush lang. Yeah.
So if you are 12 years old right now, please prioritize school.
You should be in school.
You should. And please just
summer
only look
break
at your teacher and not the classmates.
Oh, yeah,
right now, so they can be watching us. So stay in school. Don't date yet.
Oh my goodness.
Wait till you're 16.
Enjoy being a kid.
Yeah.
All right. So before we say anything terrible, or we're gonna wrap things up. That's it for us this Thursday, April 10. I'm Paolo del Rosario. Thank you so much for joining us, and it's a beautiful day.
I'm Anne Asis-Carilo. Thank you for making us your daily morning habit. Remember to always choose joy and spread love and kindness wherever this day takes you.
And I'm Monique Tuzon. I hope you all have a great Thursday ahead. Join us again tomorrow at 7 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. only here on
It's a beautiful day.